Since the annual summer event will be supersized this year, a lot of time was spent hyping the show on tonight's SmackDown. Jimmy Uso stepped into the ring with Tala Tonga, and we got an open challenge for the AAA World Tag Team Championships with Angel and Berto. We also saw some of the big players set to compete this weekend address their matches in promos, video packages, and interviews. Let's take a look at what happened on the Blue Brand tonight. The final stop on the road to SummerSlam 2025. Hey there, welcome everybody to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. Yes, I am your host, Anthony Florio, sitting in tonight for good old MF Michael Fletcher. He will not be joining us this evening due to work commitments beyond his control. He will, however, be back with us tomorrow night as we recap night one of the first ever two-night SummerSlam. So for the night, I am joined by the Phenom, Michael Bullock. And because MF is not here, we're going to do what we traditionally do when MF's not here, and that is we're going to bypass the TNA Impact review from last night. So tonight, we're going to recap Friday Night SmackDown, and then Bullock and I will preview the first ever two-night SummerSlam that takes place tomorrow night and Sunday night from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So with all that being said, let's not waste too much more time. Let's dive right on in. And of course, it was Friday Night SmackDown, the final stop on the road to SummerSlam, the go-home show from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, the home of the NHL's New Jersey Devils. And we started it off, well, I'll be honest. I honestly thought this was going to be in the main event spot. But they actually started it off with this. And I know we're going to have quite a bit to say about this. SmackDown opened with some aerial shots of New Jersey, where tonight's show was being held before we went to the arena for John Cena's entrance. He was greeted with a chorus of boos and chants of John Cena sucks. Before the Peacemaker star could say a single word, Cody Rhodes came out to the usual pop and crowd singing his entrance music. Cena talked about how Rhodes forced him into a match he didn't want, but then he thanked him for giving him the motivation he needed. He said he bought into an idea 5 months ago and gave up everything he worked for in his career, and it led to him being alone. Cena said he still wants to retire with the title, but not because he wants to ruin wrestling, because he doesn't want to be forgotten. He said this was the day he truly returned to WWE, and it will be the fans who win on Sunday when they fight. Rhodes asked for 2 beers, and they toasted, but unlike every time Steve Austin did it, this ended peacefully. And you notice those 2 beers were the real American beers of the late, great Hulk Hogan. Okay, now, I got to be honest here. It was a good segment, but the thing is, I gotta throw in some constructive criticism here. John Cena did his best, but this felt incredibly rushed. It felt like the setup to Cena attacking Rhodes again, but it wasn't. The live crowd seemed entertained, but this was not as good as it should have been. It's very funny to see Cena doing press for Peacemaker and acting all jovial, and then he goes to WWE and acts like he hates everything. And Cena's voice cracked a bit when he got amped up. But from a professional perspective, this makes the championship match on Sunday night even more interesting. It gives us something to think about. A lot of people are saying this is perhaps gonna set it up, where we're gonna get the double turn, where John Cena is gonna turn babyface for good, and Cody Rhodes is gonna turn heel. Very possibly could happen. It's very likely that it's gonna happen. But I did a lot of thinking, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit more when we preview this match as part of our SummerSlam preview. But it's very exciting. And the only thing I will say is this. I will believe this when I see it, and I don't see any underhanded tactics by John Cena Sunday night. But I'm hopeful this is true. And excuse me, I don't know, but we're going to have to wait and find out. But I've done a lot of thinking about this since that segment happened. And I'll get into that a little more when we do the previews. There's not much more to say about it. Very good segment. There isn't much more for me to add on to it. So, Michael Bullock, what do you make of all this? I mean, ever since John Cena turned heel, you have been very, very critical of it. But he's turned. Apparently, he's back to being a babyface again. I don't know. What says you?
Well, and here's the thing, Fleur. Remember what I told you. Remember what I told you in the times we gotten together. I got the feeling this is going to be a double turn because what did I tell you about Cody Rhodes?
He's done some heelish things lately.
And that's why I think this is going to happen. I think this is only the first part. I think the babyface is complete when it comes to John Cena. The only thing left now, I think, is for Cody to turn heel. And I think they're going to save that for SummerSlam. Maybe this is where... what's the old saying we've heard many times, Florio? It's what goes around?
What goes around comes around.
So maybe this is where the Cody heel turn is complete and Cody gives John Cena a dose of what he did to him 5 months ago. Because the thing is, Florio, and we know MF is not here, but what is the one thing he's been clamoring for?
For
when it comes to Cody Rhodes.
For Cody Rhodes to turn heel so we can unleash on him.
And I and that's why I think they're going to save it for SummerSlam Sunday. I think the John Cena turn, the babyface turn, is real. I think this is only the first part of it. I think the second part's going to come on Sunday, where Cody will officially turn heel. So the first part is complete. The only thing we need is the second part. And I think they're saving that for Sunday. That's how I see it going down. So great segment here, and for me, I mean, professionally, I mean, it was good. But the thing is, when it comes to me and John Cena, all I'm going to say is, welcome back, John Cena. This is how your farewell tour should be, as the real John Cena, the one that everybody loves, the one everybody respects, and the one the kids can look up to. And all I can say about you being back to being the real John Cena is one word. Yeet!
Yeet.
It's yours, Florio.
One word, 4 letters. That's it. So, all right, let's move on to our first match of the night. Return match for the Women's United States Championship. The champion, Julia, with her new, I guess we could call her new legal counsel representative, I guess we could call it, Kiana James. We had no idea where she's been all this time, probably battling but nonetheless, Kiana James serving as the legal, what have you. And it was Julia Zelina Vega, a return match the night before Night of Champions back on June 27th in Saudi Arabia. And the winner of the match, Ian, it is the beautiful madness, Julia. So Michael Bullock, I got to ask, Julia, still the U.S. champ. She wins it in 12:05. And Kiana James as her legal counsel. How about it?
Yeah, to me, Florio, the outcomes. Look, Julia just won the title. I mean, I know it was back in Saudi Arabia. I think it was too soon to take the title off of her. And and the thing I heard a little dirt sheet earlier, Florio, when it comes to this, and I came upon this, and I don't know if you're hearing this for the first time or if you heard this. They were thinking about having Zelina Vega quit because with the way things have been going for her, and with the horrible theme music, with everything, they thought she was going to quit right on the spot. Basically, pulling a damn JBL like he did at WrestleMania 25.
That's news to me.
But obviously, it never happened. So I guess whatever it was nothing more than a bunch of BS. If I'll be quite honest. So what was the time again?
12 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, I thought this was a good match here, a good way to start off the matches portion. So I'm gonna give this about maybe 3.25, maybe teetering on 3.5, but I'm leaning more towards 3.25. It's yours, Florio.
No, I'm going to give it 3.5. This match was one of those that got better as it went. It started a little slow, yes, but both women had some great moments during the second half. Both women had some close near falls before the match finally ended, with Julia hitting her finisher a second time to retain the title. Julia getting Vega up for a suplex was more impressive than usual because she was doing it with almost no leverage. And the stomp Julia used looked great. Vega sold it perfectly. Outcome never in doubt, and definitely would have been too soon, but this match was. This was actually better than I thought it was going to be. So because of that, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I'm going to call it the sleeper fight of the night. And heck, you can make an argument that this was the fight of the night. That's how good this match. 3.5 stars is my rating for this. So, with that being said, we move on. An open challenge for Los Garza. Los Garza at a recent AAA event captured the AAA World Tag Team Championship. So Los Garza issued an open challenge for those titles here tonight on SmackDown. And who answered the challenge? None other than the most over wrestler in Mexico today, Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown. Oh, I wish MF was here because I know MF would have been marking like a crazy man.
Oh, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like thinking, oh, Fletch, if Fletch were here, he would tell the world about these two, Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown, because he knows more about them than you and I do, Florio.
Absolutely, because as we all know, MF follows AAA religiously.
And especially now with the WWE's partnership with AAA.
And of course, 2 weeks from tomorrow night, August 16th, Triple Mania. So, and I know MF's going to have something to say about that in a couple of weeks, provided he's on, of course.
Especially with the Mega Campeon Championship.
Oh, that's going to be something. But anyways, Los Garza defending. How about this? A AAA World Tag Team title match on Friday Night SmackDown here tonight, and we got it. Defending against Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown. Winners of the match, 6 minutes and 55 seconds, and still the AAA World Tag Team Champions. It is Los Garza. Hey, this match had. I'll tell you like this. Mr. Iguana's lizard iguana puppet, La Yesca, was more over than anyone else in this match, which is kind of sad because all four guys are good talents. Being outshined by a puppet cannot be easy. That being said, this match had some hiccups along the way, but the majority of what they did looked good, especially when it came to Angel and Berto. Champions retained their titles, which got almost no reaction from the live crowd. Joe Tessitore acted like seeing Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown was like seeing the biggest rock star in the world. It was kind of funny. He was freaking out. But then again, I had MF freaking out on commentary as well. Mr. Iguana nearly had a bad botch when he tried to run up the ropes, and it looked like Angel forgot he was supposed to hit a dropkick when Psycho Clown flew off the top rope. This could have been a banger, but it was only a solid match here, so I'm only going to give it 2.5 stars. I was thinking this was going to be something really good, but they definitely got pressed for time, if I'm being honest. But I would have loved to have seen these two teams get a good 10 to 15. And if that had been the case, we would have been talking a higher rating. But best I can go is 2.5, solid 2.5 for this. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Los Garza, Angel and Berto, still the AAA World Tag Team Champions, defeating Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana 6-55.
Yeah, and you know what, Florio? I'm not going to blame these teams for why it's only a 2.5-star match. I agree with you because, like you said, they were pressed for time. I mean, and let's not forget, Florio, this is only a 2-hour show. If this was 3 hours, I think they would have given them more time and it would have gotten a higher rating. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, for you folks who don't know anything about Mr. Iguana, and you got a pretty good example of what these two are made of. I saw them the first time on that special, and boy howdy, I mean, I was really impressed. So
Worlds collide.
Yeah, worlds collide. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this 2.5 stars as well. I mean, no surprise. I mean, they just won the titles. There was no way they were gonna take it off of them. So it's yours, Florio.
All right, Bullock, and you lead off on our next match. Damian Priest squaring off against Aleister Black. Damian Priest wins the match via disqualification. 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and because this ended in a DQ, I can only give this about 2.25, 2.5. I mean, I would have given it a much higher rating, but because of the DQ finish, I have to punish it some. So some people thought that this should have been a part of SummerSlam, but let's be honest, Florio. With all the matches that are on the card, especially for both nights, I think this was more appropriate for it to be on a SmackDown. So 2.25, 2.5, it's yours.
Same can be said for Julia and Zelina Vega as well. But anyways, I'm going to be a little more generous on this. I'm going to give this about 2.5 to 2.75 of a star. We all knew this would not be their only encounter. So while this ending makes some sense, it doesn't mean it was the most satisfying way for it to end. This and like Bullock said, this match could have been a good addition to SummerSlam, but card was too loaded. Damian Priest no-sold Aleister Black's first kick, but sold the second a bit more. That was a nice touch, and Black almost fell flat on his face when Priest popped him up into the air. So this is an easy 2.5, 2.75 of a star for this. And when it comes to the in-ring matches, this was I guess you could call this the main event technically. The in-ring debut of the newest member of My Family Tree, that being Tala Tonga, a.k.a. Hikuleo. Solo Sikoa in his corner, squaring off against Jimmy Uso. And Tala Tonga wins the match in 9 minutes and 35 seconds. And then after the match was over, you noticed the 15-foot-high steel temper cage was hanging above the ring. Solo ordered it to be lowered down so he and MFT could beat the holy hell out of Jimmy Uso. But the plan, it did not go according to plan, as Jacob Fatu showed up and Solo basically threw JC Mateo and Tama Tonga to the wolf, to the Samoan werewolf here, while he and Tala Tonga got out of the rings. So all right. Not sure. All right. Not the most exciting match, but it was good for WWE to make Tala Tonga look strong in his first performance. Solo Sikoa is so funny when he is at ringside for one of his guys. Jimmy's reaction to Tonga no selling his Tope Suicida was great. And that's all there is to say on this. So I'll give it a solid 3 for the effort here. And not really much more to add on to it. So Michael Bullock, Talatonga, formerly Hikuleo, wins his WWE debut match, defeating Jimmy Uso. 9:35 is the time of the fall. And, of course, Jacob Fatu showing up. And how about it? They had the steel cage there. Oh, man.
Yeah. What did you give it again?
3.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 as well. I mean, I thought this was a solid match here, but it definitely could have been better. But yeah, obviously, I mean, yeah, Talatonga, Hikuleo. I mean, I thought he looked really good in his first official match. So yeah, yeah, we're gonna wait and see what happens with their title match in that steel temper cage. So it's yours for you.
Steel temper cage, as the late great immortal Hulk Hogan always used to say. So that if you're wondering why I always say steel temper cage, that's why. It was my homage to Hulk Hogan. So that was for you, brother. So we're damn sure going to keep that alive going forward for sure. All right. One last order of business here tonight. As has become the case before almost all WWE PLEs, the final segment on tonight's show was a promo, not a match. Jelly Roll, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre were the subjects. I'll say it like this. Surprised they put this in the main event spot. I think the Cena and Cody thing should have been in this spot, with all due respect, but that's just me. But basic yet effective final push for the Celebrities Tag Team match. So that's honestly all I can say about it. So and Bullock, I'm sure you'll concur with me on that. That's really all it was.
Yeah, I thought it was I mean, it really wasn't anything that special when it comes to this. I mean, in all honesty, I think the Cena Rhodes thing should have main evented, but it is what it is. So
Yep.
really got nothing more to say. So as far as my overall thoughts on this final SmackDown before SummerSlam, I'm gonna give this about maybe a 6 out of 10. I mean, it definitely could have been better in some spots, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll just say it was solid, but not overly spectacular. So it's yours, Florio.
I mean, I'll be honest. It started off really good. I mean, the Cena Cody segment that started it, and then that in that really good match with Julia and Zelina Vega, and then after that, the show fell off the cliff. Honestly, 6.5 is my rating for this. Tonight's show was the usual go-home episode we have grown accustomed to. It had a few matches, a few promos, a few videos, and a couple of angles to put a bow on some feuds heading into SummerSlam. The face turn from John Cena seemed rushed, and could it be a swerve in the end? But for now, we are operating under the assumption that he will be a good guy moving forward. Had Aleister Black and Damian Priest's match had a clean ending, that could have stolen the show. But instead, Zelina Vega and Julia took the night. SummerSlam being 2 nights for the first time ever will be an interesting experiment. As we know, it has worked for WrestleMania. It should be the same with this show. So, this is a 6 to 6.5 out of 10. So with all that being said, let us now get into something we've never seen before. We thought we were going to get it next year in Minneapolis, but no. They decided to do it next year, or I should say this year anyway. WWE SummerSlam is bigger than ever. For the first time, WWE's cornerstone summer blockbuster expands to 2 nights. The company has recruited some of its biggest stars for the occasion, including an epic rematch between undisputed WWE champion John Cena and Cody Rhodes. The two megastars will look to settle their difference under street fight rules in Sunday's main event. Among the other 11 matches set for this weekend are each world title in the men's and women's divisions at stake. That includes an interesting showdown between World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and CM Punk. Gunther regained the title from Jey Uso after he lost it to him at WrestleMania in April. He did that back on the June 9th edition of Monday Night Raw. Now he welcomes his first true challenge in CM Punk, who has yet to secure a world title since his epic return to WWE in 2023 in his hometown of Chicago at Survivor Series. Plus, the WWE Women's Championship is at stake when Tiffany Stratton looks to defend against rising star and Queen of the Ring Jade Cargill. And a triple threat match is set for the Women's World Championship when Naomi looks to make her first defense after a successful Money in the Bank cash-in at Evolution against challengers and former champions in their own right, Io Sky and Rhea Bloody Ripley. With so much action, let's take a look at who we are picking for all the matches on Saturday and Sunday. So, running down I'm going to go from bottom to top when it comes to this. So I'm just going to go bottom to top on what I have here. So we're going to start it off with the first match of the Saturday card. Of course, it'll be live tomorrow and Sunday night from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the home of the NFL's New York Giants and New York Jets. Hosted 2 WrestleManias beforehand, WrestleManias 29 and 35, and now here for the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. And we're going to start it off with the matchup between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. I've gone back and forth on this. I got to go with Karrion Kross. I mean, I think it's time for him. I think it's time for them, for Triple H and the creative team, to take this guy seriously, and this guy needs a push. A loss will not hurt Sami at all. Sami is still in a good spot. I know he's eyes on being a world champion in the future. And of course, let's not forget here, there's also a caveat when it comes to this matchup. There are a couple of stipulations here for whoever wins this match and whoever ends up going down here. So let's break it down here. If Karrion Kross wins, Sami Zayn has to say the words "Kross was right." If Sami Zayn wins, Kross must say, "I was wrong about Zayn." I think we're going to hear Sami say Kross was right. I got Karrion Kross winning this match. Sami won at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Karrion Kross even the score on a recent episode of Raw. And if there was ever a time for us to take Karrion Kross seriously, I think this is the match for it. So this is one of my easiest ones to call here. Karrion Kross wins this match. I think it's time we put some respect on that name, and I think it's time we take him seriously. Best way to do it is to put him over here. Karrion Kross wins, gets one of the biggest wins of his career, and hopefully this will be the start of bigger and better things for him and Scarlett. Karrion Kross wins. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, and I remember you, Florio. Before you actually said you were originally going to go with Sami Zayn.
That is true, but
now, what made you change your mind?
The fact that Karrion Kross is finally getting a big time PLE match, and
what did I tell you, Florio? What did I tell you? Because this is why I agree with you, and I'm going with Karrion Kross because the thing is, he's getting so over with the fans right now. I mean, they've been, and you said that night in Providence. I mean, I know we weren't there. They were loving him. They were cheering him. And it's like they were trying to send a message to Triple H. And I think it's high time that he's finally going to listen. And what's the other thing that I said also why I got Karrion Kross winning?
Scarlett.
No. For the real reason.
The real reason for Karrion Kross winning this match.
What did I tell you?
He's been overlooked so many times.
And another reason, yes, he's had some wins, some big wins before, but he hasn't had it at a big time premium live event
Big Four
like SummerSlam.
That changes tomorrow.
That changes tomorrow because it's going to happen. Karrion Kross wins, and it's going to be the start of bigger and better things for him. A loss is not going to hurt Sami Zayn at all. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
All right, Bullock, let's get on to our next match. One of the big ones. Roman Reigns, main event Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed.
Now, I remember you, Florio. You said that you said on the show Monday, and you put yourself on the spot. What did you say?
I said that the predictable route would be Roman Reigns and Jey Uso winning, but after what we saw this past Monday night, and I know the correct answer probably is Roman and Jey winning the match, which I would not at all be surprised if they do. But if they do that, with all due respect, I feel that would be predictable.
But the thing is,
hold
on a second.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you my thought first before I give it to you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now I get what you said on Monday night, but
you mean Tuesday night?
But what happened, Florio? What happened on Monday night?
The old booking 101 scenario. That's what happened.
And if they're going to stick true to that,
then Roman and Jey have
I
to win.
I think they got to go with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I would not at all be surprised if Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed do it. That would be a huge win, a big time win for them. And the skies will be limit for these two if they get a big time win
and a chance to build new stars in the process.
Exactly. But if they're going to go with the booking 101, I got to go with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And let's not forget also, these two are so over. I mean, it's not just Jey Uso, but also the Tribal Chief. I mean, you heard that explosion when he came back.
Oh.
So if you want these fans to be, and especially with that booking 101, I think the obvious answer is Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. But I would not at all be surprised if your prediction does come true, Florio. So it's yours.
Yeah. It was Tuesday night, not Monday night, because we don't do that. We don't do that on Monday nights anymore.
Oh, I forgot it was Tuesday night, but you get what
I know. I know. All these months later, we're still trying to get used to it. Yes, but I did say that if you want to build new stars, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have to win this match. A loss will not hurt Roman at all. Maybe a little bit on Jey, though. I mean, because he hasn't really been the same since losing the World Heavyweight Championship back to Gunther on the Monday Night Raw back on June 9th.
And that's another reason, too, why I got them winning, because
give Jey some momentum back.
Give Jey some momentum back, because there were still some people who thought that him losing the title to Gunther was the wrong move. And he hasn't been the same since. And it was all
because they wanted Gunther's match with Goldberg to be for the title. Did it really need the title? No.
No. So you need to give Jey the momentum back after through some tough times. So I'll tell you this. I mean, if it weren't for that, I would, and the whole booking 101, I would agree with the and go with Braun and Bronson. But in this case, I just
It
simply
has to be
can't.
Roman and Jay. Standing across from Jey Uso and especially Roman Reigns is a major promotion for their opponents. SummerSlam should provide more insight into how legitimate Seth Rollins' injury is. If WWE is giving up on Jey Uso, he could take the loss. More likely, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso will stay strong to maintain the company's main event star power. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed cannot become regular fall guys. They're supposed to be the company's future. So, in the end, I mean, I would love to see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed win this match and build them up as new star and build up new stars in the process, especially Braun Breaker. He's got a rocket pack on him. But after everything that Bullock just said and the whole nine, I got the feeling they're going to go the predictable route here. They're going to have Roman and Jay win this match. I would not at all be surprised if that's the case. But in all honesty, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed should win this match if you want to build up new stars in the process. But I guess they're going to have to handle a big loss to two recent world champions. So because of this is reluctant now. I'm not fully confident, but I am going to, reluctantly go with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso because of the booking 101 / predictable route. So I will go with Roman and Jay to win this match. And that's all there is to say on it. Should be a banger, though. It's going to be a great... This is a man fight right here. There's no doubt about that. All right. WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. The Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Charlotte and Alexa winning a contender match recently to earn this. Well, actually, Charlotte got them this match. That's right. They didn't win a match to get to this, but all right. This is another one I've been going back and forth on. I mean, there's the part of me that thinks that the Raquel and Roxanne experiment should continue. But then on the other side of the coin, we've seen WWE at times push strange bedfellow tag teams to championship gold. One team that immediately comes to mind, The Miz and Damian Sandow. Remember that? Miz and Damian Mizdow? Remember how ridiculously over they got? And they had to strike when the iron was hot. Survivor Series 2014, when they won the tag team championships. And it's been done. It's been done before. Daniel Bryan and Kane. Team Hell No. That's another strange bedfellow tag team. So, taking all of that into consideration, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair should not lose consecutive title matches weeks apart. The former women's champions failed to dethrone the Judgment Day in that fatal four-way tag team title match at Evolution. They will only have one team to contend with tomorrow night. WWE's women are generally not afforded the same quality of storytelling as the men. Alexa and Charlotte's alliance of convenience is at least something they can build on. So I am going to take a chance on this, and I am going to say the winners and new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, because of the strange bedfellow route. But do not be surprised if Raquel and Roxanne retain. Don't be. I'm going with Alexa and Charlotte to win the titles after going back and forth on it. That strange bedfellows thing, I just cannot shake it. I can't. So give me Alexa and Charlotte to win the titles. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I'm going with Charlotte and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to become the new women's tag team champions, because like you just said, and I originally talked about this before, because it's not just they've done this with strange bedfellows tag teams, but I don't know. I mean, they seem to be really pushing this new team of Charlotte and Alexa. And don't forget another factor too, because you're starting to see slowly but surely Roxanne Perez start to make some moves on Dirty Dom, and you saw the look on Raquel Rodriguez's face. I think you're going to start to see the slow build of the distrust between this team. So, and I think you're going to see some of that during the match. So, winners and new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. It's yours.
All right. I think we got a good feeling about this next one. I mean, when it comes to this match, I think this is one of the easiest ones to call here. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Bullock, I think we all know how this ends tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, it's got to be Randy Orton and Jelly Roll because they always seem to push the celebrity tandem to be the ones to go over. So
yep,
this is an easy call. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll win. It's yours, Florio.
There's no real doubt here, is there? Jelly Roll gets the celebrity spot, and the celebrity spot is almost always a celebrity win, especially if the celebrity is the babyface in the match. I'll tell you what, the match will be practiced enough that this shouldn't matter, though, and Randy Orton will work the vast majority of the match, and I believe Jelly Roll will get the pin, and I think he'll get it on Logan Paul. So Randy Orton and Jelly Roll win the match. Jelly Roll will score the winning fall for their team. WWE Women's Championship on the line. The champion, Tiffany Stratton, defending against the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. Stratton's title win sparked much more enthusiasm than her subsequent reign. Her villainous, mean girl persona delighted fans, but she has struggled to carve out a hero's identity. Stratton is talented in between the ropes, but it's not enough to sustain interest. Cargill's inexperience makes for a risky WWE Women's Champion, but there is enough upside right now to chance it. She looks like a star, and that's more than Stratton can say right now. She's had it for 7 months. It was that very first SmackDown of this year when she cashed in on Nia Jax and won the WWE Women's Championship. She's held it since, and I think Tiffy time is about to run out. So, winner and new WWE Women's Champion, Jade Cargill. Michael Bullock, are we in agreement on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Jade Cargill's been with the business. She's been with the company for over a year now. And yes, she's had the women's tag team titles, but she's never had a singles title. I think that comes to an end at SummerSlam. I mean, Tiffany Stratton's had a good run with the championship, but I hate to say it, I think Tiffy time is going to be up at SummerSlam. Winner and new WWE Women's Champion, Jade Cargill.
All right. And now it's time for the main event. For the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, the Reign General, Gunther, defending against CM Punk. All right, Bullock, main event time for night one. Who you got?
Man, I mean, there's a lot that could possibly happen in this match. I mean, a lot of wild cards in this one. But this is a tough one for me, but you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, first off, the winner and new World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. But hold on, Florio, there's more. What's the one thing we've been known for when you and I do our Raw chats?
Bold predictions.
And here comes a bold prediction right here, right now.
I agree with it.
I think first, I think the Ring General is going to attack CM Punk out of frustration. And then you're going to hear the burn it down. I think that the injury of Seth Rollins is a work. I think just to make CM Punk and everyone believe that he's really injured, but he's not. I think this is where he's going to cash in on CM Punk, and he will be your permanent new World Heavyweight Champion. Because he is a visionary. And that vision's going to come true. It's yours, Florio.
He's also a revolutionary, and he is also Seth freaking Rollins.
And what's the thing he's been wanting? To make sure that CM Punk doesn't hold the gold.
He said that he would do whatever it takes. He would see to it that CM Punk never, ever holds the World Heavyweight Championship as long as he's around. This is a match with no wrong answer for a winner. Gunther is a strong world champion and carries that position well. Punk winning would be a great moment for the fans, and it's inevitable he's holding a world title again at some point. Looking to the future, it's probably more intriguing to have Punk holding the title when Rollins returns from injury, still as the Money in the Bank contract holder. That's a good enough reason to assume Punk leaves SummerSlam as the World Heavyweight Champion. But of course, we have got to keep an eye out for Seth freaking Rollins and that knee injury. So if he shows up, there's no doubt about it. He's going to cash in. And he's going to pull the heist of the century too, like what we saw over 10 years ago at WrestleMania 31 when he cashed in on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So it's very simple here. Simple arithmetic here. The winner and new World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk, but only for a moment, because Seth Rollins is going to cash in Money in the Bank, and Seth Rollins is going to leave night one of SummerSlam the new World Heavyweight Champion. So I got Punk winning, but I got Rollins cashing in as well. Now we move on to the night two portion. Bottom to top, and we start it with I guess you could call it a 25th anniversary of the inaugural tables and ladders and chairs, oh my, match. So, but of course, as we all know, in that very first match, it was Edge and Christian, it was the Dudley Boys, and it was the Hardy Boys. And it was Edge and Christian who walked out still the tag team champions at SummerSlam 2000. We've only seen this match one other time since then, and that was back in 2009 when it was Jeff Hardy defending the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk, one of the greatest matches in SummerSlam history. And now we get it here. And for the first time ever, we're not going to have 3 teams. We're going to have 6. A 6-team tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. The champions, the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, versus Andrade and Rey Fenix, versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and versus the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. SmackDown's tag team title scene has become a never-ending game of hot potato. 7 teams, listen to this fun fact. 7 teams have held the titles in the last 15 months. The Wyatt Six faction has the numbers advantage in an environment like this, so they should be considered the favorites. If WWE wants to continue the carousel of champions, Fraxium or Andrade and Rey Fenix would be fresh choices. WWE has not hinted about their long-term plans for the divisions, but I believe the Wyatt Six are high on the list of potential winners here. So I'm going to say the winners, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, the Wyatt Six. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, 6 teams in a TLC match? oh, this ain't going to end well.
Yeah, it ain't going to end well. And look, I mean, we can already know we can eliminate the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, the Street Profits, who else is in it, Florio, besides the ones I just mentioned?
We got the Wyatt Six. We got Andrade and Ray Phoenix. We got DIY. We got Fraxium, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street.
All right, well, so it comes down to the other three. I mean, look, as much as I want to see Fraxium finally get their moment to win the titles, especially on the stage of SummerSlam,
yes,
I still think it's too soon for them. I mean, I really want it to happen for them. I think it's well too soon. And also, Ray Phoenix and Andrade, they just got thrown in together as a tag team. You really think they're going to win it after only being together for this short amount of time? It wouldn't make sense at all. So the obvious choice is to go with the Wyatt Six to retain. So the winners and still the WWE Tag Team Champions, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt Six. It's yours, Florio.
All right, Bullock, we move on to our next match. For the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, the champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, defending against challenger and former champion in his own right, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Now, I've been going back and forth with this one here, Florio.
As have I.
Because the thing is, I mean, Dominic Mysterio's has had a good run with the title. But as you heard during the SummerSlam kickoff today, what did AJ Styles say during that?
That this year's SummerSlam would be his last.
And I think from what I've been hearing, they want to give him at least one more run with a certain title. So
one more title run.
And I don't think he's ever held the Intercontinental Championship.
Actually, he has held it.
He's had
2020, the pandemic.
Or yeah. So if this is going to be his last run, I think they want to give it to him. So I might be the only one with this one. So, but I'm actually going to take a chance. Winner and new Intercontinental Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. I think it's just because that this could potentially be his final SummerSlam and also maybe his last full run. I think they want to give him one final run with the Intercontinental title. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a world title, but maybe one of the secondary titles. And I think it's the Intercontinental title that he's going to have one more run with. But if Dominic wins, I would not at all be surprised.
Yeah. I'll say it like this. I've been going back and forth on this one also. I mean, let's also not forget, Dominic Mysterio has a huge match in 2 weeks as part of Triple Mania.
That's right. He's battling for the Mega Campeon and
in a fatal four-way match.
And there have been talks about
him winning it,
putting the title on him. And if that is the case, that's another reason why for him to lose the title.
If this didn't happen, if they didn't make that announcement, I probably would have said Dominic retains. But with this being not only AJ's last SummerSlam, and with Dominic, of course, being involved in that fatal four-way Mega Campeon match at the Triple Mania in 2 weeks, and the rumors going around, the dirt sheets I've read those dirt sheets as well, saying that that they are considering putting the Mega Campeon on Dominic Mysterio because he was over in Mexico when they had that Triple Mania show last week that MF told us about. But nonetheless, because of this, originally I was going to go with Dominic to retain, and that could still happen. You never know. It could still happen. But because of all this, as of late, I got to retract here. I got to say winner and new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. But would I be surprised if Dominic retains? No. I not only wouldn't be, I know everybody else out there wouldn't be either. So, but I'm going with AJ to win the title. United States Heavyweight Championship, the champion, Solo Sikoa, defending against the challenger and former champion, Jacob Fatu, inside the confines of a 15-foot-high steel temper cage. Booking the rematch so soon might have been a mistake. Fatu's red-hot title run never got started. Sikoa's cold spell ended once he became champion. Neither can afford a loss, but the match stipulation necessitates a winner. Jacob Fatu has future main eventer written all over him, and he can rebound from the loss better than Solo. And that's enough evidence to side with the champ here. So, for me, winner and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, Solo Sikoa, and I wouldn't at all be surprised if the MFT get involved during this match either. Solo retains. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with you, Florio. I'm going to go with Solo Sikoa to retain the United States Heavyweight Championship. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that the My Family Tree is going to get involved in this. So let's move on.
All righty. And we move on to, here we go. The Women's Intercontinental Championship. The champion, Becky Lynch, defending against the challenger and inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. No countouts, no disqualifications. If Lyra loses this match, she can no longer challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship as long as Becky Lynch is the title holder. Bullock, the theme of this SummerSlam preview thus far, back and forth on certain matches, and here's another one. Bullock, are you there?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason I thought it was yours, so forgive me for that. So, yeah, I've been going back and forth on this one. I mean, there's part of me that wants, that I think that makes me believe that Becky's going to retain. But the thing is, 9 times out of 10, Florio, when you got a stipulation where if a certain someone loses the match, they can't challenge for the championship again. What happens 9 times out of 10?
The challenger goes over, wins the title.
And I think because of that, I got to go with Lyra to become the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. I mean, if this didn't happen, I probably would say Becky retains. But because of this, and the fact that it looks like she's slowly but surely looking like she's maybe going to be turning heel soon. So we'll see what happens with this, but I got to go with Lyra to become the new champ. It's yours, Florio.
Lyra Valkyria has done a fantastic job of establishing herself with the fans and proving she has tremendous in-ring skills. I would love to see her regain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I think this is the one match I've been going back and forth with more than any other. I want to see Lyra get the title. Another part of me feels like it's a Becky Lynch win and an opportunity to separate these two for the foreseeable future. And I also think that's not really a ton of value in continued flip-flopping of the title with the same you can never challenge again stipulations in place here. But it's very tough. I mean, for some odd reason, my gut is telling me to go with Becky to retain, but my heart is telling me to go with Lyra to win the title. Very, very tough to call. Honest to goodness, it is. Suppose Becky does win this match. And with the rumored heel turn of Lyra, Lyra could take it out, could really start the heel turn. I could see her I could see her losing this match and getting, so frustrated that it leads to that heel turn. We'll see, but God, I got to go with my gut on this one. I got to say Becky retains. But would I be surprised if Lyra wins the title here? No, I would not. So what I do know is it's going to be a fantastic match, and I can't wait to see how it all goes down Sunday night. 2 matches left, and we move on now to the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. The champion, Naomi, defending against challengers and former Women's World Champions in their own right, Rhea Bloody Ripley and Io Sky. This triple threat match is more about tying loose ends. Naomi stole the Women's World Championship by cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase at the end of Evolution. The match allows Naomi to sneak another win to put Io and Rhea in the rearview mirror. Naomi's character evolution has been impressive, and she more than deserves a proper title run, especially if arch nemesis Jade Cargill wins the WWE Women's Championship the night before. One of the rare easy matches to call here. Winner and still Women's World Champion. It is Naomi. And I mean, they just put the title on her. It would make absolutely no sense to have her drop it in her first televised defense. It wouldn't. So the winner and still the Women's World Champion, it is Naomi. And Bullock, when it comes to this pick, proceed with caution.
Easy choice. Winner and still Women's World Champion, Naomi. She just won it. It doesn't make sense for her to lose it that soon. So,
you ready for the main event?
So yeah, exactly. With that being said, Florio,
the big one.
It's time for the main event.
For the undisputed WWE Championship in a street fight. The champion, John Cena, defending against the man he took the undisputed WWE Championship from at WrestleMania, and former champion in his own right, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Bullock, I know where you're going, but I'm going to throw an interesting curveball in just a moment, but all yours, and I know where you're going with it.
I'm going to say, man, this is tough. I mean, you know what? I'm actually going to throw a little something here. I've been thinking about this ever since. I'm going to say the winner, and I'm just coming up with this right now, Florio. So the winner and still undisputed WWE Champion, John Cena. But here's the thing. Remember when I said that I think Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel?
I see it happening here.
This is where it's going to happen. I think Cody Rhodes is going to be frustrated to the point he attacks John Cena, and he turns on, not just on him, but on the fans. So I say the champ retains, but I think also this is where Cody turns because of Cody Rhodes' frustration. So that's where I'm going with this. So Florio, where do you go with this? And I'm interested to hear what your take on this and what you have to say.
Don't think WWE will deviate from whatever year-long plan they have for John Cena. The record-setting world champion will lose his title before retiring. He'll also have a crisis of faith about his behavior. But neither will happen without foreshadowing. Cena will find a nefarious way to beat Cody Rhodes again. But SummerSlam could set the foundation for Cena's eventual downfall and redemption. But here's the thing. We saw it tonight. We saw him basically turn back face here. What if this is a swerve? I think this could be a swerve. there's a very good chance that he suckers Cody in. He lulls Cody into a false sense of security. What happened here tonight could very well end up being a ruse. It very well could be. But then again, there's one other thing that we need. There's a major X factor that I think could possibly be factored into this. The final boss. What if he shows up? Then what? If he shows up, we could have a possibility of Cody winning the title. I mean, and turning heel. With after what Cena did Friday night, or I should say what he did tonight, suppose The Rock heard all that. Because he buried The Rock in that promo. He also buried Travis Scott, and rightfully so. And, just to make for interesting TV. Just to go for a shock and awe moment. And we got that good TV. So, I mean, me personally, I'll be honest. I want to see Cody win the title, but I don't want to see him turn heel to do it. Because you guys know, I've been the biggest Cody fan for the last good, 2 to 3 years or so? Pretty much. I have loved seeing him as that QB1, as that babyface here. With all the fans singing along to his song and the whole 9 yards. Did you hear that crowd for him tonight when he did that? Epic. But, I mean, Cena did turn. Yes, he did. I'm not so sure about it.
So you're not buying it?
I smell a rat. I smell a rat. Big one. Extra crispy. So, with that being said...
But the only thing is, Florio, only thing is, he's only got so many dates left on his farewell tour. Do you really want him to finish it as a heel?
No. I mean, they could set it up for something bigger down the road, but...
And let's not forget another thing, too. I mean, yes, he's been a heel. It's worked out well, but the only problem...
The fans still cheer him.
That's the thing.
Fans are still cheering him.
The fans are still cheering him. Maybe this is where WWE finally is like, maybe...
Let's pull the trigger on a double turn.
Let's pull the trigger on the double turn. Because
let's turn Cena face and let's turn Cody heel.
Because Cody has done some heelish things.
He has done some heelish things.
And I think it's the sign of a heel turn. I think this is where we do get the double turn.
It would honestly break my heart if that happens, but
I know, but I know.
But at the same time, we have to think about what would be best for business moving forward, especially going into the fall season. And SummerSlam has been known for many shakeups over the years. So, I mean, I don't know. I still smell a rat here, but maybe they could pull it wrong. But then again, what about Seth Rollins? If CM Punk, if they end night one with Punk with CM Punk winning the title and no cash in, then we got to watch out for Seth freaking Rollins. There is a possibility that Cody does win the title. But what if Seth turns on Cody, wins the world, cashes in Money in the Bank, wins the WWE Championship, pulls a Heist of the Century 2, and goes from being Cody's shield at WrestleMania 40 to turning his back on him a good year and a quarter plus later. So many possibilities. But after what I saw tonight, as great as it was, I still smell a rat here. I smell a rat. I can't help it. I just smell a rat here. if what Bullock if what happens tomorrow, if what happens Sunday night, if what Bullock says if what Bullock predicts that we get the double turn here, if that happens, Bullock, I'll give you your flowers. I'll be sure of it. I'll be sure of it, and I'll eat that humble pie and like it. But if this ends up being a ruse, which I think it is, and Cena cheats his way to beating Cody, lulls him into that false sense of security, makes him look gullible, and suckers him in, saying, "I'm back. I'm being the man again." And then he sandbags Cody Rhodes. If that happens, then what? So, oh boy, we shall see. But you got I know Bullock's got Cody regaining the title with a double turn. Cena turning face, Cody turning heel. But I smell a rat here. I cannot help but smell a rat. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if what Bullock says comes true, I'll give you all the credit in the world. But I got to go with my gut here. Winner and still undisputed WWE champion John Cena. And it's all because of what he did tonight was nothing but a ruse. So, and of course, we can't help but think about possibly the final boss getting involved. That's a very realistic possibility. If that happens, then the likelihood of Cody turning heel, very realistic. What they did tonight, by having Cena turn face, definitely makes this match a lot more interesting, a lot more unpredictable. And that's exactly what you want. That is good business right there. But Sunday night, we'll know for sure. Bullock says double turn. I say I smell a rat. One of us is going to be right come Sunday night. Question is who? Only time will tell. And seeing that MF is in here as well, I'm also going to make an executive decision here tonight that I'm going to do a quick rundown of the Big Three, because we got another week of Big Three basketball coming up tomorrow. It will be from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. But before we get to that, I'm going to do a quick recap of what we saw last Saturday at the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. First game of the day, it was my team, the Miami 305, squaring off against the Houston Rig Hands. You could conceivably consider this as a rematch of last year's epic Big Three championship, with the Miami 305 as Three's Company and the Houston Rig Hands, formerly Bivouac. But it was the 305, the Three's Company, if you will, getting their payback on Bivouac. Miami 305 defeat the Houston Rig Hands by a score of 50-42. In the second game, we saw the Detroit Amps square off against the Los Angeles Riot. By the way, Miami improves to 4-2. Houston drops down to 1-5. Detroit Amps versus the Los Angeles Riot. The Detroit Amps winning the game by a score of 50-46. Detroit improves to 4-2. LA drops to 3-3. Dallas Power versus the DMV Trilogy in the third game. And it was the Dallas Power winning that game by a final score of 50-45. Dallas improves to 4-2. DMV drops to 1-5. And in the final game of the day, it was the Chicago Triplets squaring off against the Boston Ball Hogs. And it was the Chicago Triplets defeating the Boston Ball Hogs by a score of 51-43. Chicago improves to 4-2. Boston drops to 3-3. And we have four teams tied at the top, all with 4-2 records. Only four teams make the playoffs. So if the regular season had ended here, those four teams at 4-2 would all be in the playoffs. We just don't know how the seeding would go, though. So with that being said, let's set the table for tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. starting at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. There are, of course, 4 games. The first two games will be on CBS, and the other 2 games will be featured on Vice TV. First game at 1 p.m. Eastern from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. It will feature the Detroit Amps squaring off against the Boston Ballhogs, 1 p.m. Eastern, CBS. Game 2, approximately 2 p.m. on CBS. The Houston Rig Hands squaring off against the Dallas Power. And then at 3 p.m., approximately, over on Vice TV, it will be the DMV Trilogy squaring off against the Los Angeles Riot. And in the final game of the day, around 4 p.m. or so tomorrow, it will be the Chicago Triplets squaring off against my team, the Miami 305. Second to last week of the regular season. The regular season ends next week. And then Sunday, August 17th, will be the 2 semifinal games that make up the playoffs. And then Sunday, August 24th, from the Edition Financial Arena in Orlando, Florida, it will be the Big 3 championship game. So there's your Big 3 report right there. And with that, that will now put the bow on this very exciting edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We will be back with you again tomorrow night, sometime following SummerSlam. Remember, it starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So there is a good chance that we could be on right around our traditional 10:30 or so start time. I think it's going to be right around that 10:30 threshold tomorrow night. MF confirms he will be back for that show tomorrow night. Myself, MF, Michael Bullock, we will be here, and we will recap night 1 of SummerSlam. And then the following night, Sunday night, we'll do it all again, as we will recap night 2 of SummerSlam, right around that same threshold. Unless they get it done sooner, we don't know. 6 o'clock start time. We'll see what happens on both nights. But it'll definitely be sometime after both nights of SummerSlam. We will have the recap tomorrow and Sunday night. And then Tuesday night, we do it all over again with Ridiculously Raw, the fallout, the Raw fallout from SummerSlam and NXT. That'll be on Tuesday. And then next Friday night, we do it all again with another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. And hopefully we'll get to do a TNA review this time around. So with that, that'll put the bow on this. So until tomorrow night, for our recap of night 1 of SummerSlam over on MF's channel for Ace Fan 95, this is Anthony Florio here for the Phenom, Michael Bullock. And in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher. And of course, always and forever, our first lady of Talking Wrestling TXN, the one and only Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Saturday. And until tomorrow night for our SummerSlam Night 1 recap, you have been watching the Cerebral Smack Talk right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one. For now, Anthony Florio. So long. And bye, everybody. Bye.